Welcome. Today we're going to be taking a look at Twilight Inscription. This is a 1 to 8 player roll and flip and write resource management Twilight Imperium themed game, where you take the role of a faction. You'll be spending resources on your navigation, industry, expansion, and warfare, trying to become the next leader of the galaxy. How do you become the next leader of the galaxy and win the game? By having the most victory points when a Throne for the Taking event card is resolved. Now that we know what the winning condition is, let's take a look at the components, setup, and how gameplay works in Twilight Inscription. Now let's take a look at the components. You have the Mechatol Rex sheet. This is double-sided, one for the solo and 2-player game, and the other for the 3 to 8-player game. Around the sheet, you'll place the event deck to the right, the objectives above, the relic deck to the left, and the agenda cards below. On the sheet, you will track when a faction will make it to Mechatol Rex, and they will get the victory points and votes, and then you'll place the final score on the right, and during the council, you'll place the pass and fail at the bottom. Player sheets, these are double-sided. The A side is asymmetric, and the B side is symmetric. This is in the corner next to the name. You have a place to calculate victory points, focus dice next to that, technologies. For your navigation, you have exploring or drawing lines to different systems, and then claiming a system or circling that system. Expansion. These allow you to unlock planets. This allows you to explore and expand your population. Industry allows you to increase your production. You would scrap spaces and claim spaces. Warfare. This is where you build and deploy units. Speaker card. You have black dice, which have material, research, and influence. Focus dice, if they are unlocked on your active sheet. Faction cards. They have a name. Depiction. Setup effects or ongoing effects, and the faction ability. Event cards. On the back you have stages 1 through 5 and blue or black. On the front you have the type, card resources, resolution, the objective cards. You have the title, description, depiction, victory points for first, and victory points for everyone after. Agenda cards. These have a title and descriptions for pass and fail. Relic cards. You have a name, description, and victory points, reference card, markers, a guide, and the rulebook. Now let's take a look at the setup. We're going to be setting this up for a 3-player game, which takes 7 steps. Step 1, get player sheets. Deal a random navigation, expansion, industry, and warfare sheet to each player. Use side A for asymmetric or B for symmetric. Step 2, choose a faction. Shuffle the faction cards and deal 3 to each player, then the player will choose 1. Setup effects will resolve at this time. Step 3, place Mechatol Rex and agendas. Place the Mechatol Rex sheet in the center of the play area, then separate agenda cards 2, 3, and 4, shuffle each, and then draw 1 to place under Mechatol Rex face down. You will return the rest to the box. Step 4, prepare event deck. Separate event cards in 10 stacks, 1 through 5, and color blue and black. Shuffle and then alternate blue on the bottom, and then black and blue for each number, then place the number 5 to 1 on top to create the event deck to place next to Mechatol Rex. Step 5, reveal objectives. Separate the objective cards by type, shuffle each, and draw 1 to place face up, or with 2 victory point values, above Mechatol Rex. Step 6, shuffle and place the relic deck face down to the left of Mechatol Rex. Step 7, get player components. Give everyone a reference card, a marker, and then give the most experienced player the speaker card and place the dice next to their player area. Now let's take a look at the gameplay. A game consists of a number of rounds until a Throne for the Taking Stage 5 event is resolved. A round. A round consists of 2 steps. Step 1, flip and read the top event card. Step 2, resolve the event. There are strategy, war, production, and council events. For strategy events, this will make up most of the event deck. They are carried out in 3 steps. Step 1, choose an active sheet and spend the card resources. Keep in mind this will be the only active sheet for the round. Step 2, the speaker will roll dice. Step 3, you will spend the dice resources. You'll spend all resources on the black die, and if you have unlocked a particular focus die for that sheet, you would use that resource as well. Keep in mind that during this event, you can spend claimed assets from unactive sheets, crossing them out. For relics, you would draw a card and resolve if immediate, and then you would place the victory points in that spot. Now let's look at each sheet. For navigation, you would explore the galaxy. Planet assets can be used to unlock planets on the expansion sheet. Exploring a system, you can use material or research to connect a hyperlane to your existing lanes. Wormholes connect and continue a lane. Claiming a system, you would spend influence to circle a system you are connected to. When you claim something that is dotted, it has an immediate effect. And a dashed is an asset that you will save for later. When you claim Mechatol Rex, you would put your name on the top spot left, getting the victory points and votes. For expansion, you would explore and expand population. You would unlock planets and spend resources to claim a column or row bonuses. For the industry, you would invest in infrastructure and economy. You would spend resources to scrap or claim spaces. And a scrap must be adjacent to any marked space. Claimed must be adjacent to a scrap space. Then you would mark the rows and columns below for claimed. Then you will circle votes or trade goods when a production event happens. Warfare, or build and deploy units. You would spend resources, and the last one allows you to then build the unit in any section. The right side is for fighting your right neighbor, left is for fighting your left neighbor. Each section is for a war in each stage 2 through 5. Starting at the bottom, you have win or lose rewards on those sides. Above is win, below is lose. For war events, you would carry out 5 steps. Step 1, advanced deployment line. You would draw a horizontal line for the next section going up. Step 2, the total marked nodes on the left and any bonuses. Step 3, you would total the right nodes. Step 4, you would compare the strength on the left and circle the reward for win or loss. Ties, cross out both. And then step 5, you would compare the right side. A production event. There are 3 in total, 1 in each stage 2 through 4. You would add any marked +1 trade good to your trade goods. And then council events. There are 3 in total in stage 2 through 4. For each +1 vote, circle a vote. Then you would carry out 5 steps. Step 1, the speaker reads the agenda for the stage. Step 2, cast votes simultaneously on the industry sheet. Check pass or fail and how many votes you want to spend. This is optional. Step 3, announce from the speaker's left going clockwise the votes. Step 4, you resolve the outcome. If tied, you would roll a black die to resolve. Step 5, spin votes. Cross votes out and erase from your pass and fail on your industry board in Mechatol Rex. Keep in mind when objectives are claimed, you mark your sheet matching the type and flip the card over if you are first. Then the next round will begin. Rounds will continue until a throne for the taking is resolved. Then we would go to the final scoring. On each sheet, count victory points and add any objectives to get a subtotal. Then put the total on Mechatol Rex, and the player with the most victory points is the new ruler of the galaxy and wins Twilight Inscription.